Everybody, welcome and come on in. Hi, my name is Bridget Brown Jackson. I am a behavior wealth strategist and I'm the founder of Exponential Edu Ventures. Listen, we're an organization that want to improve leadership. So we help leaders grow and develop their talent, keep their profits in their own pockets, as well as create more productivity within the organization. We've been coming in every day for the month of February for Leadership Legends Black History Month series. And we've been doing some dynamic people. And today we are doing none other than Annie Malone. Now, there's a reason why I wanted to do Annie Malone. There's a reason why I wanted to do Annie Malone, and I am going to share that information with you. Listen, Annie Malone has something in common with me. Let me come up with face so you can see my face, so you can see my smile. Annie Malone has something in common with me. She spent time in Peoria, Illinois. I was born in Peoria, Illinois. So that is my hometown. And we are so very excited as Peorians to be able to have her story finally shared. So maybe you don't know who Annie Malone is. Let me introduce her to you if you don't. So today we're going to talk about her remarkable journey and her impact as a pioneering entrepreneur and a philanthropist, that literally her legacy still resonates worldwide for the people that know who she is. And then for the people that don't know who she is, when you do know who she is, then you understand the impact that she made in the entrepreneur world, corporate world, as well as in the African American community. She was born in, let's go over here to it. She was born in, and I guess I have an error on there. She was born in 1869 in Metropolis, Illinois, and then later moved to Peoria, Illinois. She never graduated. This is a great thing about her story. It's absolutely amazing. She did not graduate from high school. She went to Peoria High. I have some connections with that. I have family members that graduated from Peoria High. She went to Peoria High, but she did not graduate because she battled with illness as a young person, right? But she forged past all of that. She did not allow any of that to ever stop her from going on to what she was going to do. So she was a visionary, an absolute visionary. She was so visionary, like literally she was doing things back then that we're seeing now in the 21st century, in the latter part of the 21st century, right? Annie Malone, again, was visionary. Let me get back to that. I thought lost where I was. She created a hair care line. And the reason why I want to call her visionary and everything is because she had her own everything. Now, some of us have heard of Madam C.J. Walker, and her story is out front. Annie Malone is typically definitely an unsung hero. She was in front of Sarah Breedlove, which we call Madam C.J. Walker. She studied under Annie Malone. Not just her, but Annie Malone had upwards in a 30-year span of time, almost 70,000 representatives for her cosmetic business that she had. So she was an amazing business icon. And she had a fervent advocacy for education. Again, she did not herself have a high school diploma. She was granted through Howard a honorary degree, but she didn't have a degree. But that never stopped her. So I just want to encourage somebody today. Like, leadership does not have a certain look. Leadership can come from every social and economic level. It can come from every ethnic face color picture that's out there. It can come from everything. But here's what she was able to do. She was able to open up her own college. So she was the founder of Poro College, which was, again, a pioneering event back then. That actual facility, she had manufacturing there. She had places where dorm rooms where people could live. There was cafeteria styles. There was everything possible to make the business. There was business offices and everything else there. Now, the reason why they had to do this, and this was not in Peoria. She moved to St. Louis eventually. And in St. Louis, there was segregation that happened. And so she created her own. It was 100,000 square foot facility. Y'all, come on, come on, come on. And we're talking about in the 1920s. 100,000 square foot facility. And she created that place. It was beautiful. It was fireproof bricks. Come on now. Wonder why she had to have fireproof bricks. Think about what was going on in the time. They had electric elevators, and again, a garden and places where people could deal with their emotional health and not just do the business. Kind of like what Google, and other organizations like that they're very well-rounded. She had a well-rounded facility. She was before her times. Now, some people may not give her that credit, but we're going to give her that credit today. So by 1926, she had 175 actual employees that worked in the offices there in St. Louis. But like I said, she had upwards of 75,000 representatives and agents all across the countries and even into the Caribbean and into Africa. She was marvelous at her leadership. So let's talk about that leadership. So if this is your first time listening in, one of the things that we've been doing is pulling out key leadership points, as well as what we've been doing is talking about emotional intelligence, because it doesn't matter how smart you are if you are not sound in your emotional intelligence, in your self-awareness, in your self-regulation, in your self-motivation, in your empathy for the human man, as well as having effective communication and thorough social skills. All right. And so let's look at hers. For her EQ was keen. She had an understanding of the customer's needs and the aspirations, but it also allowed her to develop a product that was able to help other people. And so what she did was not just about her. It was about changing the lives, the trajectories of other people. She definitely led with empathy and compassion. Her empathy and compassion guided her into her philanthropy that she did. I mean, all kind of efforts. Homes, because she was an orphan when she was a little girl. She ended up going and living with her older sister who was married, but she was orphaned. And so because of that, she made sure she took care of children that were orphanage. Because again, her educational endeavors, she set out and established scholarships and helped. Again, she contributed a lot to Howard University, one of the top HBCUs, right? And she had a commitment to give back because she was transformational. She had a transforming power about her in empathy. She was resilient and determined. So she refused to be discouraged. She could have been. She was an orphan. She could have stopped before she even got to be grown. She had an illness when she was in school, in high school. She could have quit and stop. She could have said, I don't have a degree. I don't have a business background. So how am I going to start this business? But she, despite every obstacle that life threw her some lemons, even to the point where she was gotten to her business established and was very wealthy. One report says she had to give up like $40,000 in taxes. And that would be millions in today's monetary economy, right? But she didn't. She went through a divorce. That didn't stop her. Like, she was resilient. She was an example of resiliency. So we're at our 9-minute mark. So let me go ahead and give you the 3 talking points for what you can learn as a leader. Number 1, as a leader, here's what you can walk away with. Cultivate emotional intelligence, right? I keep on telling you about that. Let's develop our empathy. Let's develop ways to connect with other people and help other people and to inspire to be a change for positivity, right? Let's practice compassion. Number 2, show compassion for others within your organization and use your influence to make a difference in your community. You might not have the finances that Annie Malone had, but you don't have to. If you have compassion, that is wealth. If you understand and know how to leverage yourself, that is wealth. That is wealth. Again, you hear me talking a lot about I call myself a behavioral wealth strategist, and you hear me talking a lot about that. There's wealth in your behavior. And last but not least, embrace resilience. So stay resilient in the face of challenges. If you have setbacks, don't let them set you back. See, I have since I started off in my business. I launched my business for real in 2019. I said for real because I did it as a hobby for years. But when I launched my business, I had a lot of setbacks. I've lost my dad and my son in the past 18 months. But guess what? Business is still forging through. So, what are those ways that you can be innovative and grow? Right. And so, do that. I just want again to remind you Poro College was unthinkable of the time of what all they offered and what they did. But Annie Malone did that. Again, my name is Bridget Brown Jackson. I'm a behavioral wealth strategist. I love talking all things behavior and helping you enlighten yourself. Now, I went over a lot today. This is 11 minutes in. Typically, they're not this long. But because Annie Malone is from the town that I was born in, I wanted to make sure that we spotlighted this unsung hero that did so much for the business economy that we don't learn about and hear about. But I wanted you to know today, if you didn't know, now you know about the leadership of Annie Malone. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. We still have a few more days for this Black